Well, we're back for a new season in this FM22 story, The Head Coach. But this is not like any other new season. We have accepted a job offer. You saw it at the end of the last episode. We expect it to be our last job, certainly in club management. And it's nowhere near as easy as it looks. We've got a big rebuild on our hands at Real Madrid. We're reliant on a director of football to deliver it. So let's go and get into our first day at the job and meet the staff, the players, and any other problems that we're going to encounter at our new club. Yes, hello and welcome along to another episode and another season from this FM22 story, The Head Coach, with me, Daniel. We're back today to start season 13. And we're starting early in pre-season because after euphoria with Manchester United last time, after winning a Club World Cup in our final game, we accepted a job offer from Real Madrid with the promise that today we'd go and look at all the staff and players at our disposal. I gave you a couple of little sneak previews over recent episodes as the interview and job offer process unfolded. But if you're looking forward to seeing what we've got to work with and just how big our task is here, then please do put a thumbs up on the video, subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on for daily FM22 content. It's been a very big week for this channel because yesterday we had a chaotic summer transfer window with Hemel Hempstead Town. A number of big talking points as we prepare for a landmark season there. You can find that episode from yesterday up in the eye above. There's also a link there to the Twitch channel and the football podcast for regular content, as well as the new merchandise store where until the 7th of May you can get 5% off absolutely everything. Use code LOADFM5 at checkout for that. And you can also support the show as a channel member down below by clicking the join button if you wish. But all of that exciting stuff pales into insignificance today because we are about to join one of the biggest institutions in world football, from another I might add. And we're going to a Real Madrid side that has problems. It's finished third in La Liga. It's not won it since the 21-22 season. Its summer work so far is 2 free agents that are aged 35 and 33. And that are pretty average. And we've got an expectation to sign under 23s and reach the top of world football again. This is going to be pretty difficult. There's a director of football in place who's not as good statistically as John Murtow, and it's a club that hasn't got a big transfer budget because the financial restraints are certainly there. We also saw they were the only European side not to progress in the Club World Cup. So let's go and see the challenge that awaits as we head to our first day at Real Madrid. And here we are. The cameras are flashing. We're taking a very slight pay cut, but they did offer us an extra 10 grand a week and an extra year on our contract in a job offer last episode. We have now reached one of the pinnacles of football. Our last two clubs have been Manchester United and Real Madrid. Not bad for someone who almost got sacked from Kevin Druids 12 years ago, is it? It's a heated debate as we move to a side that is nowhere near as successful at the moment, but we have the job of rebuilding. In today's episode, we'll meet all the staff and players that are here already, see what might be done in the summer, and of course, we might have to adapt tactically too. We're not going to have a side that's as strong or as dominant, and we're certainly not going to have a young one from what we've seen so far. So let's go through to the next screen. We've got a 4.5-star reputation. It's dropped down from 5 already. Not the same level as Manchester United. Media predicts second still despite finishing third last year. Barcelona are so far clear in this league, I can't explain it. Marina, the former Chelsea one, is the director of football. We met her during the job interview process because of course they ask if we're happy to keep them. Her stats look pretty good there, so hopefully she'll be able to get good players in on a shoestring budget. We've got an assistant manager that's been here for about 4 years, was formerly at Barcelona, that's interesting. Good coach, good judgment, not bad at all, but 66 years of age, even the staff are old. There's no one up with the modern game here. That could make things pretty tricky. Excellent training and youth facilities, no longer state of the art. 81,000 seater Bernabeu is still going strong, and exceptional youth recruitment should help us bring through the next generation of Galacticos. Let's move ahead to the next screen though. What have we got on our introduction? A 4-2-3-1 is the tactic they've set out here. Farinez was the goalkeeper, who of course was at Manchester United when we joined them, was sold before we even played a game. They've got a few players in there we'd recognise. Militao still going, Alexis Sailmakers on the right and Vinicius Jr. on the left. But there's only one man we want to meet at the moment, isn't there? It's a reunion at Real Madrid with Arian Kalantari, the Bristol City legend from many years ago. I cannot wait to have him as part of this side. Let's go to the next screen where we know exactly what our expectations are. It's a 4-year job, according to the board, to rebuild and win the La Liga title. Who knows what they expect in Europe, though. Let's go to the final one. We're going to get through this. We want to get to our first day at Real Madrid. It's interesting because that report suggests that we've stepped up from our previous standing to take the job, but Manchester United, if I'm right, is still a 5-star reputation club. It is. So what's that being based on? Because we've come from a 5-star club to a 4.5-star one, and it's saying that we're stepping up is questionable and we've got to make a big start. But if Manchester United as your last job isn't big, then I don't really know what is in this save. We won the Champions League, we won the Premier League, we won the Club World Cup. Give us a chance. Let's see what players are in the last year of their contract. I'm guessing a few. Oh, look at the ages. Look at the ages in that squad. That is immediately 9 players, aged 32 and over. We know they've signed Pedro Neto on a free as well. That makes it 10. Oh, this is pretty tragic. It's got a lot of hallmarks of something that can go very wrong very quick. And some of the wages there are pretty disgusting as well. Let's get through the tactical direction. We'll decide what formation we're going to play in a moment. But it's all about meeting the staff and players in these ones. So let's start with the staff we've got at Real Madrid. Because we know a couple of them already, but there's a lot more to it. And actually, there's a lot of spaces there as well. So Director of Football, Technical Director, you're going to need to be busy. We know the Director of Football is Marina. The Technical Director, who will be in charge of the staff, is Abian Perdomo. He has been at Real Madrid since 2020. Excellent at his job. A little bit younger and very good negotiator. So I'm trusting him to get us in some very good staff in the next few weeks because it needs to be bolstered a little. Let's see who's managing the youth team. Felipe Alonso. He has been there since 2029 and is pretty average but younger. Has the ability to progress and become a better coach. I'm not sure about that one at all. We know our assistant very well. What about the head of youth development? Andres Pardo. The perfect head of youth development, essentially. Look at those stats. Make him the Director of Football. 20 for negotiating. I would pray to have that. Determination 20. Judging player ability and potential 20. We've got to get a good youth intake here. And maybe it's youth that's going to rebuild us. But how on earth is he not the Director of Football? Because I would trust him with 20p in a transfer window, let alone 30 million. That's a really positive sign. Possibly the best staff member we've seen in this whole series. Let's have a look at a few of the other coaches just to get a feel for how good they are. Nicolas Dejon is the only senior goalkeeping coach. A bit older again, but a very good one. Loads of fitness coaches, 4 in fact. That one's pretty average, De Villas. Malo's very good, has been there for 20 years. Guerra has been there 4 and is okay. And Mauri, Francesco, has been there since 2021 and is very good. Very young as well. Let's move on to the general coaches. Fran Beltran, I recognise that name. He's been there since 21. Not a great coach, it's got to be said. Hernan Perez, stats-wise, is average again, but great working with the youngsters. And considering we've got a squad of all over 30s, basically, I'm not sure that working with youngsters is a priority for our senior coaches, unless there's some gems in the youth team, of course. The head physio, please be good. We've got a lot of old heads here. Oh dear. Physiotherapy rating of 13 for a top club. That's awful. That one's 20 though. And even Ortega 16. So the rest of the team isn't too bad. And then finally on to recruitment. We have got scouts galore. The senior scout is excellent. What a chief scout David Fernandez is. He's an original as well. They've got Stefan Koffal. He's very good. I mean, it looks like we've got a top-class recruitment team. The issue is, there isn't a budget to match it. So where on earth are they wasting all their money at the minute? Because these scouts are all absolutely phenomenal. And I don't really know why we haven't got the quality to match. If you look at their recent transfer windows as an example, I know we mentioned the 2 free agents they've bought in already this summer, but they made one bigger signing last year, sold quite a few. They've frittered away a lot of money over the years and not really got a huge amount to show for it. Although saying that, their biggest sign in the last 4 years is Kalantari, and he's certainly going to be involved for us. So the staffing, I would say, is okay without being spectacular. What I'm hoping for is on our way to the senior squad that we know is nearly all over 30. We're going to find some stars in a development centre. Cross your fingers for me. I need something good here. Please, yes, maybe. Felice Zingaro, 2-star ability, 5-star potential. This could be short-term pain for long-term gain, but awful natural fitness. Oh, I don't know. I don't think he's 2-star ability, and if he is, you compare that to Manchester United. 2-star ability was Asher Gumby, was Fraser McIntyre. This guy's nowhere near, but he has got a good personality and a chance to develop. Anyone else in the B team or the under-18s of note? I don't think so. There's a few that have got ability, but not massive potential. So maybe they just have to plug gaps in the squad for now. You do need to have some utility men. The under-19s overview. Right, so it looks like they've had a golden generation intake this year, because they've got 3 15-year-olds who are great. Let's have a look at the potential ability. Yeah, they're standouts. We've got Adam Pena, who's nowhere near yet, but has big potential. Abdoulaye Diarra, who is a 15-year-old centre-half, looks a little bit more like it. And then Roberto, 15-year-old fullback. That guy, mark my words, is going to be a superstar before we leave. I'll say it now. Roberto will be a gem. What a player he is. We'll try and get them involved a bit as the season goes on, but it doesn't look like we're getting much immediate help, which means this squad needs to be good. I mean, even the players that have come in, Dwan Foyth has been offered 180 grand a week. He's an average centre-half. Why are you paying that money? Please tell me. I don't understand it. Let's see what we've got then. The average age will tell you everything you need to know. If I put them in age order, it's 30 and above down to there. We've got 8 players under the age of 30 here. 16 players over the age of 30 and 6 of them are aged 35. This means you've got a lot of familiar names, but not a lot of resale value and not a lot of youth and exuberance in this side. And of the young ones, how many of them are good enough? Look, you've got 3 2-star ability players at the bottom. So essentially, we've got 5 quality players under the age of 30, and none of them are under 24. This is going to be a long old rebuild here. I hope Barcelona have got an old squad too, is all I can say to this. Let's get them in position order. Let's get the reports up and see what we've got. Faranez is first choice keeper, 35 years of age, was at United very briefly when we joined them, but never played for us. He's good, he's not great. The same as I said when I went to United. They had 2 upgrades after him because they didn't feel he was good enough. But he has seemingly done pretty well here, so I wouldn't be broken-hearted if he was my keeper. Jay Gorter as the backup is not particularly great, but again, not a priority position at all, is it? So in goal, we're okay. We can accept the age a little bit. Where we have problems is defence. There are 3 excellent ones, all of them over 30, of course. But let's start with one of the young stars. Adam Safoso is 24 years of age. I saw he was the one that signed from Juve the year before. 3-star ability, 3-star potential. I'm a bit worried about him being 3-star because he is probably a similar level to Frimpong at United up till a year ago, and he was just about 2.5-star there. This is a worse squad, and he is not great. So I'm hopeful that he won't have to play too much, but he is basically the only under 30 defender we've got. Next one, Nikola Milenkovic, 35 years of age, 2.5-star ability. Still pretty good. Good natural fitness, but you can see where the decline's happening. And he's no longer a first-team player by any means. We've got Dwan Foyth, who they've signed this summer on a 1-year deal. Yeah, he's okay. Very good technically. Good on the ball. Ball-playing defender and a good right-back. But not great. And physically, they're all in decline, which means we can't then play that high defensive line. Eder Militao, still there at 35. What's he doing? He's kept himself pretty well, actually. Still 4-star ability. Still got a good year in him. He was part of our squad in last year's head coach, where we went to Real Madrid along the way. And he's definitely going to be starting for us here, because he's a very good player despite his age. Alongside him is Tanguy Nianzou. Only 31, another ball-playing defender. Can play the holding role naturally too. So I'm not sure which one we're going to go for yet, but regardless, he's a very solid footballer. Similar stat profile to Inacio, I'd say. And that's certainly nothing to complain about. Alexis Sailmakers, 34-year-old right back. Still, I'll be fair, these kids have still got their physical stats. Sailmakers is more of a winger, but he can play right back very well. And maybe that's something he can revert to as he gets a bit older, thinking sort of Jesus Navas style. But regardless, he's a good footballer, he's a good part of the squad, and they have got good professional personalities, which may help. 30-year-old Devin Wrench is next. He is 2.5-star ability, Dutch utility man, I think we'll call him. Centre half, right back, holding mid, centre mid, left back. He's not great, let's be honest, but as a player on the bench who's 2-footed and can play 6 positions, he's basically perfect to be a substitute, isn't he? He's another one that only joined a year ago. He's had a loan spell out by the looks of things in the meantime. He's alright, he'll do a job for us if we need him. A lot of these are wanted though, so I don't know who's going to be here come the end of the year. And then left back, we haven't seen one of those yet. Matteo Ruggeri, 30 years of age, 3-star ability. Again, very solid. I'm impressed with the personalities. Again, professional. Again, very naturally fit, good stamina, but not a standout. He's not going to be the left back to win you a Champions League. Let's put it that way. Riddle Baku is a 35-year-old right back. Again, very versatile, very naturally fit, great personality. Had been at Manchester United for 6 years. Do you know what? I'm not as worried about the age now for the short term. I'm worried for next summer when they're all out of contracts and most of them won't be kept. But for this year, I think we can comfortably get top 4 whilst trying to integrate a few other young players. And that is all I can really ask for. Alfredo is the final defender, 21-year-old, 2-star ability left back. Yeah, he's okay. Not the best in the jump, but someone who I think can probably become first team standard. Has only played 5 senior games, will expand on that during this season. Into midfield, let me know what you think of this as we're going along. It's an old squad, but at least they're fit. I'll give them this. And Marcos Antonio is actually the best rated central midfielder. 4-star ability at 33. Still world class, still professional personality, still determined, very good technically. And actually probably better than the midfielders we had at Man United, with the exception of Boyer. The only thing I am noticing as we go along is there's not much height in this team. So we had a fullback a minute ago who was really short, couldn't jump. We've got the same here in central midfield. But Antonio, good on the ball, someone who can help us control a game. Loads of caps for Brazil. He's joined in there by 34-year-old Mamadou Koulibaly, 2.5-star ability. Yeah, he's past his prime, isn't he? He's not someone I'd want to be relying on, but off the bench, the odd little game, I'm sure he wouldn't be too bad. Renato Sanchez is next. 3-star ability, 35 years of age, has completely lost his pace and strength, but everything else is pretty good. Having said that, he's not the best player in the world technically, so he's largely relying on mental stats. Maybe we could chuck him in as a deep playmaker for some games, but I don't think he's our answer. And he's already indicated that he's going to go at the end of his contract next summer. So I think what we're actually going to see here at Real Madrid is an okay, solid first year, and then a massive turnaround of bodies next summer, because half of this squad's got to be out of contract. We'll have a look in detail in a minute. The next man, though, is the Messiah, the man who needs no introduction to any of you that have followed this story. Arian Kalantari, what a hero. We managed him at Bristol City. You all know the year, because it's the year he scored tons of goals. Tottenham wouldn't loan him back. We had to move on not long after. But what a record he had for us. I love this man, and he will get into the team somewhere. Whether it's up front, whether it's right wing, Arian Kalantari will be a key part of this side. Still never played for England. I'm going to make that change while I'm here. Again, can't jump. Again, no height. But everything else is on the money, and we know he scores goals. Next up, 25-year-old Manuel is a 2.5-star ability attacking midfielder. He's not bad, actually. Same problem with the jumping reach and the height, but a good personality, very good mentally, and a good little playmaker too. So another squad player we can rely on. Next up is Joseph Rihar. He is 24 years of age, 3-star ability. Czech international, scores 1 in 2. And he's actually my kind of number 10 because he likes to run in behind. He likes to get into the box. He's 6 foot as well, which means he can be a threat from set pieces. And my word, do we need that from those we've met so far. He's got flair, he's a good decision maker, and he's composed. I like him. Next up is Thomas Cervantes, 2-star ability, 3.5 potential. Pretty run-of-the-mill winger. Is he even Premier League standard? I'm not quite sure. 5'3", they're getting shorter. His jumping reach is only 3 out of 20. Next on to the man who should need no introduction to this club. Vinicius Jr., he's on $500,000 a week. He is still world class, and he's going to have to earn that money because we need gold dust. He's slightly on the decline now, but he's a great player, and we're going to need him to be at his very best. Him and Kalantari, though, does give us that directness on the counter-attack. As hopefully will 32-year-old Gabriel Martinelli, who's obviously made the move over from Arsenal, did so a number of years ago. It's actually not that great in terms of technical stats, not the best finisher, but off the left, again, he's basically the perfect backup for Vinicius, isn't he? Very similar stat profile, and he can cut inside and produce magic. So it means for one 32-year-old who we need to keep fit, we can bring on another one to help keep him rested when the odd game, I'd presume in La Liga, will be won pretty early on. On to the last three. Pedro Neto has just joined. 33-year-old Wolves winger in real life. 3.5-star ability. Model citizen. Natural right winger who likes to cut in. He's a very good player still, in fairness to him. He's been at Wolves the whole time. He's just come over. I like him. He's going to be involved in the squad. Probably between him and Sailmakers on that right-hand side. Unless there's a striker that's going to be able to keep Kalantari out the team. And the last option for that is Robert Altmaier. He's 26 years of age, the young star of the team apparently, with 4-star ability. He's wanted, he better not be going anywhere. Is he a striker? It says left winger here. Please give me some luck. He is a natural striker. He's not the best though. How is he 4-star ability? I can't quite work it out. I'm pretty sure he's better as a winger. But I'm going to have to play him up front because he's the only star we've got. Or do I play Kalantari up front and then this guy off the right-hand side? I really don't get the fuss about him. How much did they pay for him? He's worth 70-odd million now. They paid 43. Look, we'll make it work because he's the only quality young player we've got bar Kalantari. But I think Kalantari's my first choice number 9 based on what we've seen here. Let me know what you think in the comments though, because that is one of the most interesting squad introductions I've ever had in the head coach. To have that much of your squad at that age is remarkable. To have very few young players who are ready to step in is crazy. To have very little transfer budget is madness. And to be expected to sign under 23s while you've got players joining in their mid-30s is chaos. I do not know what to expect. We are underdogs for the La Liga title. Barcelona, heavy favourites. Almeria up in 3rd place there. Atletico in 4th. If we have a look at last season's table, it was Atletico 4 points ahead of Real Madrid. Barcelona dropped to 90, but look at the difference in defeats. Barca did draw a few games at the end note, weirdly. The season before that, it was Barcelona by 6. The season before that, by 15. The season before that, by 6. The season before that, they won it by 13, but were 17 clear of Real Madrid. The season before that, it was 14 points. The year before, 9. You can get my drifts. Since 2025 there, it has been dominance and very comfortable for Barcelona. So let me know what you think of that squad, what's going to happen this summer, and what tactics should we play. I'm probably looking at 4-3-3, but with a holding midfielder, because we haven't really got a natural number 10 that's ready to start. Maybe Ria could play further up there, but I feel with the defence we've got and the age of the squad, and certainly the backup defenders, we probably have to have that defensive security and just let Vinicius and Kalantari shine, as we had with Kalantari and Max Thompson in a similar tactic back at Bristol City. Let me know what you think in the comments though. If you did enjoy this introduction to what will probably be our final club job, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from 2 long-term stories. I'm expecting a difficult challenge here. I'm hoping for some magic in the transfer window, but I'm not sure if it's going to be forthcoming. We'll of course be back for the first league game, which is in about 5 weeks' time, and there will be Champions League football after the 3rd place finish last year. In the meantime, to keep yourselves entertained, you can find the latest episode of the Hemel Saving the Eye above, a very big transfer special in that one. You can also find the Twitch channel, the football podcast and the new merchandise store. Only a few days left for that discount on all items. But above my head now will be yesterday's Hemel Hempstead Town video. It was one not to miss, it's another controversial one. There's deadline day to come there tomorrow too, and then I'll see you again here in a couple of days' time. Thanks for watching.